RE2, we are back talking some more Kingdom Hearts. We have a kind of a weird conversation here. It's something that I'm just now learning about, but it's actually a couple weeks old at this point. So as per usual, I was just looking for something to talk about on the channel in regards to Square Enix, and I came across a Reddit post from today talking about Square Enix not selling Kingdom Hearts merch on their store, which I thought was pretty weird. And looking into the replies, somebody mentioned that they didn't renew their contract to be able to sell Kingdom Hearts merchandise on May 21st. And then sure enough, if you hop on over to the Square Enix store, click on franchises, click on Kingdom Hearts, there's just a handful of items. It's really just video games, soundtracks, and like a vinyl thing that you can buy. There's 8 items here. Yeah, there's not really like merchandise there, as a person mentioned with the Reddit post that we were talking about. Like there's no watches, keychains, keyblades. I assume probably like stuffed animals or something like that they normally sell with all their games. Like there's just nothing. There's no actual merchandise other than video games and soundtracks. So obviously I was kind of interested in this, like what the hell is this about? And looking into it a little bit, I came across another Reddit post from like 25 days ago where somebody actually provided a screenshot of an email from Square Enix where they actually admit this themselves. So the email says, "To our valued fans, we are writing to provide an update regarding one or more items you have pre-ordered. As of May 21st, 2025, our licensing contract for Kingdom Hearts merchandise has ended for the North American and European regions. Regrettably, we're unable to fulfill orders for the following items," and then it just lists the items that the person pre-ordered. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know the entire story here. I obviously just found this out today. And I don't know if we have an actual answer for what's going on. It seems like when you look at the multiple Reddit posts out there, a lot of people chalk it up to Disney, because Disney owns the IP for Kingdom Hearts. Square Enix just makes the games, right? And they sell merchandise, I guess, through Square Enix. But maybe Disney didn't want to renew the contract with Square Enix, potentially. Which does seem a little bit weird, because obviously Square Enix are the ones that make the games, but at the same time, it's been a while since we had a Kingdom Hearts game, right? At least a main good like release. We had mobile games and Melody of Memory, right? So it's like, what are those? And they had Missing Link get canceled here recently, and obviously Kingdom Hearts 4 seems to be in some level of fucking development hell. Because to be honest too, like in more recent years, Square Enix hasn't been doing the best financially. Like even like the previous fiscal year, they had 16 and 7 Rebirth release, and still like didn't meet the expectations. I believe they maybe even lost money, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how much any of that would maybe affect the merchandise sales of Kingdom Hearts shit, because I imagine a lot of the Kingdom Hearts fans out there are still buying merchandise, regardless of the lack of games, or whether or not Square Enix is financially doing good, right? But maybe on Disney's end, they're seeing what Square Enix is doing these days, and maybe they just wanted to sell the merchandise themselves, or through somebody else potentially. I don't know. Now, the other possibility is that Square Enix themselves didn't want to renew the contract, which would be strange. It could be possibly an accident, because that happens every now and then with like copyright and shit, where people just forget to renew the shit. Or if they did intentionally, I don't know why they would do that outside of like financial reasons. I've seen that kind of mentioned by people on Reddit and stuff. Like maybe it costs a lot of money, like to license it through Disney, like to get the rights to that shit. Maybe however much that would cost, I don't know. For whatever reason, despite probably making a good amount of money off of the Kingdom Hearts merchandise, maybe they just didn't want to renew the contract, or maybe Square Enix and Disney couldn't come to an agreement on a contract or a new contract or whatever. Like maybe the money wasn't right on either side or something like that. I don't know. Square Enix just intentionally letting it go doesn't make any sense, right? It's just weird. It's just strange to do, even though it's an IP that's owned by Disney. It's obviously, you know, partially Square Enix's too. Like, if without the games, it doesn't matter if Disney owns the fucking IP. Without the video games that Square Enix is making, there is no Kingdom Hearts brand. Like, the video games are it. And because people love the video games and the characters, they buy the merchandise. Now, the email does specifically say North American regions and European regions, right? So it's not like Square Enix is cut off from selling merchandise across the board. So my initial thoughts with this were maybe because of the tariff shit we're seeing in, like, you know, with Trump and all that stuff here lately. When I hear talk politics, it's just the facts of the world. Maybe because, like, the tariff bullshit or whatever, they just don't want to sell, like, merchandise in North America, which I guess would make some sense. But again, it does mention the European region, which is a little confusing. Like, if the email just said North America, we could probably chalk up to that. But also maybe, like, the contract they signed with Disney requires the European region as well. Like, you have to make merchandise and sell it to the North American region and European region within that same contract, potentially. And because of the tariffs, maybe they just don't want to do it right now or something. I don't know. That's just a guess. To be honest with you guys, I don't really keep up with politics like that. So I don't know, like, what the fucking deals are these days. I know he flip-flops a lot on, like, tariffs and canceling tariffs and shit. So I don't even know what it is. Or I don't know if there's tariffs in place for Japan right now or not. I have no idea. That's just one of the things I thought of whenever I seen, like, the North American thing. And then I did also see some people mention it on the Reddit posts. The idea of Square Enix, like, forgetting to renew their contract or whatever, or the rights to that, it's possible. I don't know how likely that is, especially with one of the prominent IPs like Kingdom Hearts. But I actually did see on one of the Reddit posts, somebody mentioned that we had a similar situation happen in 2021. And I actually did come across an article from 2021 covering this, where it was specifically just the EU store where this was happening. And from what I can find, they never really gave too much of a reason for why this happened. And then I did find a follow-up article from The Gamer about 4 months later, August 2021, where stuff started appearing on like the UK Square Enix store. Now, the Gamer article does say that Square Enix was chalking it up to either a technical issue or potentially because of the pandemic back then, which, as they mentioned, is like kind of conflicting. Those are two separate issues entirely. But also, if it was just a technical issue, why would it take like 4 months to fix, right? It had to be something astronomically bad that happened on the back end of like the website or some shit for it to take 4 goddamn months to fix, right? So it had to be something else. And whether or not it was actually the pandemic or something, whatever, who cares, who gives a shit. But by having this happen before in the past, we have an idea of a time frame for when it gets fixed or when something might happen, and they have at least excuses for why it happened back then. At least this time they actually told us that, you know, the contract or whatever didn't get renewed on the 21st of May. I also seen it suggested on one of the Reddit posts, I have like 3 or 4 pulled up on the tabs, that maybe they're gearing up for like new merchandise, like maybe potentially Kingdom Hearts 4 related. I'm not saying Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming anytime soon necessarily, but potentially they could be getting the website ready for that. It could potentially be the case, but at the same time, why wouldn't you just renew the contract if you're gearing up for more merchandise, right? Like, that just doesn't really make a lot of sense. I'm going to run through all the possibilities here because I don't know what the actual answer is. Like, did Square Enix just not want to renew the contract? Did Disney not want to renew it? Did they both not agree on it? Is it potentially them forgetting to do it? Is it political shit, tariff-related stuff? Is there, like, a technical error on their website? Are they trying to blame the pandemic again, like 4 years later? Is it them gearing up for new merchandise? My best guess would be tariff stuff. I did come across an article from May 27th where Trump had paused the tariff temporarily for Japan until early July, right? But that obviously was after the email went out where they had just not renewed the contract on May 21st, right? So, like, that could have been it, right? Maybe they was like, you know, the tariffs, we don't want to do this shit. We're going to, like, kind of put off on the contract for now until maybe, like, things change or whatever. And, like, right after that, that shit's paused. Kind of my best guess based on the different, like, scenarios we went through with this video, right? Like, I can't imagine that Square Enix and Disney didn't want to make money together off of, you know, Kingdom Hearts merchandise. Outside of maybe Disney wanted to sell it themselves. I can't imagine that Square Enix would forget to renew the contract or not want to renew it. Like, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's possible, but it just doesn't really add up. I just can't imagine they would forget one of their biggest IPs. But also with the email that we looked at, like, it's just specific regions, right? It's just North America and the European region, right? So it's not like they lost all the rights to Kingdom Hearts merchandise from Disney, right? It's just these specific regions, which is why I think it's potentially political. In general, this just sucks, obviously, for somebody that buys Kingdom Hearts merchandise. Like, if you're in the US or Europe right now, like, for the foreseeable future, like, you can't buy anything other than the soundtracks, the games, which you probably already own, and I guess a vinyl thing. Like, that's all you can buy right now. That's really kind of it for the video. I just want to kind of talk about this and discuss it in case you weren't aware of it, or if you were, maybe you guys can let me know if there's more information on this. Like, I tried to track it down. I kind of looked at, you know, all kinds of different shit today. Can't really find anything specific for why it's happening, which is why we kind of talked about all the possibilities. But obviously in the future, when there is some sort of an update, or if you're able to buy shit again on the Square Enix store, the European store, or both of them, we'll kind of do like a follow-up at some point. Just kind of let you guys know if there's like a conclusion to this story. But my dudes, that is indeed the video. Subscribe channel if you guys are new, so in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, @YT. That's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more. And nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Logain, or leave it like Cobain.